We all know that pretty privilege is very much a real thing. I specifically want to talk about how, as Black women, your natural hair is a big part of your pretty privilege, if you want to use it. This is not about wigs, extensions, relaxers, wearing your hair as a straight hair natural. This is not about any of that. I completely respect whatever choice that you want to make. But if you do want to wear your hair natural, or if you want to wear extensions that match your natural hair texture or are similar to your natural hair texture, that is something that can be such a good addition to your pretty privilege. Now, I am not someone who wears her hair curly 24/7. If you have been on my channel before, you know that I a lot of times wear my hair straight. I've been wearing my hair straight for about 1.5 years now. Before that, I've shaved my head. I've worn a pixie cut. I've worn finger waves. I've worn everything really under the sun. I've worn wigs. We've tried it all over here, okay? I've bleached my hair. I've dyed it different colors. I've done all the stuff to my hair, okay? So I have been through a lot of different types of hair. And I will say that when I have my afro out like this and it's like nice and round and cute, doesn't really matter the size. I've had it very short. I've had it longer. That is when I get the most attention, the most positive attention, the most compliments. That is when I get talked to the most. That's when I get treated the best. And it's so interesting because it's just unique. It's just that people don't see it as often. A lot of times people see curly hair that is in a puff. They see it, in different states where it's like super defined. But the big afro, like the round afro, like 70s style, people don't see that very often. And I feel like it just really draws people's attention and they love it. Now, this doesn't only apply to specifically an afro. But you know what? Let me back up first. Let's talk a little bit more about pretty privilege and how this actually applies to it. Pretty privilege refers to any societal advantage that people receive from being considered or perceived as attractive. It's typically when people who are pretty or perceived as being attractive are treated better in public. They're given things, life is just made a little bit easier for them. I did a whole video on pretty privilege and where I feel like it comes from and how it comes a lot from within. And this is science-based. So if you want to see that, I will link that too. That way you can check it out, see how it really does come from inside of you instead of just people seeing you as conventionally attractive. A lot of pretty privilege is about how you show up. And your hair is a big part of that because a lot of times hair really reflects on how we feel. Especially as Black women, a lot of times we feel a certain way when our hair is a certain way. We either feel like we are looking real good because our hair looks fantastic, or we're feeling like we don't look very good at all because our hair is looking bad. That just affects the vibe that you give off. A lot of people aren't actually perceiving your hair as good or bad, as pretty or not pretty. A lot of people are seeing you, they're seeing your vibe, they're seeing how you act, how you talk, your confidence, and they're judging you based on that, not necessarily how you actually look. So when you come into a room and you're feeling like you look very unique, like you look very standout, like you look like you are here to own this room, which is how I typically feel when I have my curly hair out, you are going to shine and you are going to show that to people. That in return is going to have people treat you the way that you feel about yourself. Do you know the pressure of filming with a light behind you on a white wall with your hair out? Because that's exactly this, and with a light in front of you too. Like I got light all around. Like there's nowhere to hide for, any thin spots in here. Okay. There's nowhere to hide. All right. I'm about to go to dinner. So that's why I am like dressed and everything. So this was just on my heart today. So I wanted to make this video before I head out to dinner. The reason I make these types of videos and talk about these types of things, this is not a natural hair channel, but the reason I bring it up is because a lot of like femininity content or how to look classy content overlaps a lot with Black girl luxury content. And the reason that I talk about this is because there are quite a few people like these femininity coaches and all of that who are saying that natural hair is not what people want to see when you're trying to present as being classy. And a lot of times they will say that men who are successful do not like natural hair. And I think that that needs to be talked about in an opposite direction. If we're going to talk about it one way, if they can talk about their opinion that way, I'm going to put as much as I can on the internet on the opposite direction because I just don't feel that that's true at all. Shira7 has said that. And while there are a lot of Black girl luxury content creators who wear their natural hair, I love to see them. I feel like there can always be more. There can always be more representation for it. So that's what I am here for. So when you focus on your beauty, you focus on your uniqueness, what makes you special, you're going to attract people and opportunities who reflect that energy back to you. When you have big curly hair, or when you have unique hair, or when you have like a short fro, like a teeny weeny afro, when you have hair that people don't see every single day and you are carrying it with confidence, it is impossible to be overlooked. You are going to feel like you are the star of the show. You are going to feel like all eyes are on you because a lot of times they are, okay? Especially if you are used to being in mostly white spaces. If you live somewhere where most of the people around you are white, a lot of times they're not going to see somebody rocking an afro all the time, okay? So people are going to compliment you. I get the most compliments with my hair out. I have, like I said, I tried every hairstyle under the sun. I grew my hair out to waist length over the last couple years. I did cut it since then, but I grew it out to waist length. I wore it straight all the time, and my silk presses were on point, and nobody cared. Nobody really cared. I didn't get a lot of compliments like that. I looked good. I looked really, really good, but I think it's just assumed that okay, well, that's just, extensions or a wig or whatever. So I think that it just didn't hit. It just didn't hit, So I was like, you know what? Let me go back to the hairstyle that made me feel like I was the most confident, that made me feel like I was really the star of the show, okay? That gave me main character energy. And that's how I felt when I had my afro back in 2021. This was a couple years after I had shaved my head. I started to grow my hair back, and I was wearing an afro all the time. I didn't straighten it ever. And it was so cute. It was adorable. I got tons of compliments on it. And I said, you know what? Let me go back to that, because I don't know. The people love it, okay? The people love it. It's a crowd favorite. I had to just go back to it, why not? It makes a statement before I even start opening my mouth and talking. It shows that I am bold, that I am here. And I feel like it's inviting for people to come talk to me, because whenever I have my hair out, people come talk to me. And they may not specifically mention my hair, but I do notice that people come and talk to me more often. They want to be around me. They want to say something to me. And it just feels like it's magnetic. I also get more offers for brand deals, which I don't do very many brand deals at all, but I get more offers for brand deals when I have my hair curly. And they're not just hair brand deals. They're any type of brand deal. I get more offers when I am posting consistently with my hair curly. If we think about it though, pretty privilege comes from, or privilege at all, let's just talk about privilege. Privilege comes from something that is considered at least somewhat rare. Not everybody has curly type 4 hair, okay? Not everybody has it. So it's very special. I think there was an audio of only whatever percentage of people on this earth have curly hair. And I was talking all types of curls, not just type 4 hair. Having curly hair in the first place is pretty rare. And for you to be confident wearing it, and for you to look good wearing it and feel good wearing it, and present with a confident energy, that's even more rare. It really stands out to people. That presence alone is what gives you visibility, and that is what makes people want to talk to you, want to be near you, want to be around you, want to connect with you, and that's what gives you opportunities. One other piece of this is that you don't have to worry about water. You're obviously, it's going to get a little messed up, whatever. All hair is going to get messed up. If it rains, you're going to look a little disheveled, whatever. But you're not worried about that silk press getting wet if something does happen outside, if it rains a little bit, if you get splashed with some water. If it's humid outside, the humidity, it's not going to bother you as much. And I think that that's such a privilege in itself, is to just feel that freedom. If you go to the pool, I usually put my hair, when it's silk pressed, I usually put it in a bun when I go to the pool. And I'm not really that worried about it, but I do normally sweat at the pool, or I sweat at the gym. Having the freedom to just wear your hair in its natural state takes away a lot of that stress. And while you might not think it's a stress, because it's not the first thing on your mind, right? While you might not think it's a stress, that feeling of freedom is just so nice. Same thing applies to extensions that match your texture, or half wigs that match your texture, V-part wigs that match your texture. You're not as concerned about your leave out reverting. You're not concerned about things anymore. There's just a lot more flexibility. And also, a lot of times you look younger with your natural hair. A lot of time, and I know that people call natural hair childish sometimes, and that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that because people relate it with being childish, they associate you with being younger. And hey, that can be a good thing. That's a lot of times a part of pretty privilege. People want to appear younger. Your natural hair a lot of times makes you look younger. It just does. Especially you put it in a little puff. Whenever I puff out, I just feel like I look like I'm back in college or something. A couple of things to try. This first one is for anything, even if you're not wearing your hair and you're in its natural state, you're just, going out on a regular day, go out and expect people to compliment you with the expectation that people are going to come up to you and talk to you. They're going to approach you because you're magnetic, and they're going to ask you questions, and they're going to compliment you. Just go out with that energy that people are going to be drawn to you. That is what makes them drawn to you. Also, follow people who look like you or have a similar hair texture to you. That is going to make you feel like you want to wear your natural hair out. If you think that they look pretty with theirs, you're going to feel like you're going to look pretty with yours. If you see mostly people with 30-inch bust downs, you're going to think that that's exactly what's pretty, and you're going to want to keep wearing the 30-inch bust down. Nothing is wrong with that. But sometimes it's inconvenient, okay? I wore wigs for quite a while I was growing my hair out. It's inconvenient sometimes. And if that's your preference, that's cool. I don't really care. That's fine. But it's summertime and I live in Arizona. So I've already done some summers with wigs and the glue and because I like to take mine off every night. I don't like to keep them on for a long time. And the got to be glued and it was just a struggle in the heat and the sweating and all the stuff, you know, and I don't want to do it anymore. If you want to wear them, wear them. I love that because I think that they look good. So it is what it is. But if you are starting to feel confident with your natural hair, you're just like starting out, or even if you've been wearing your natural hair for a long time, I feel like I don't always feel confident. Like, I don't always feel super good about it. I don't feel like it's perfectly round right now. And I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder and I don't like that. I feel like the confidence is not going to be there 100% of the time. But I think that one thing that I think about is when I go out in public and I see women with their natural hair, I have never once thought to myself, like, that'd be pretty if it was like 3 inches longer or something, or like, oh, she shouldn't have worn her natural hair out. That doesn't look good. I've never thought that. So why would people be thinking that about me? Usually I'm just like, oh, pretty. Oh, cute. Oh, you look nice. Like, and I don't think a negative thing about it. So why would people be thinking negative things about your natural hair? I have to go so that I won't be late, but I am going to link a couple of videos down below. Normally when I make a video, like I search what I want the title to be just to make sure I'm not like taking somebody's exact title. And I found a couple of videos with the same topic or similar topics, and I'm going to link them down below because I think that you should watch them too if you're interested in this topic. Also, if you have any video ideas for me, let me know. I would love to make them. Also, if you want to follow me on my other socials, I will put my name on the screen. It's Kate Swan. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this one. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.